Good morning, children. So here we are continuing with part 2 of cash book. In the previous video we discussed the single column or simple cash book. Now in this we will start with the triple column cash book. Triple column cash book is a cash book where there are three columns for account, three columns for amount on debit side and three columns for amount on the credit side, and those three columns are cash, bank and discount. As you can see here, this type of cash book, that is triple column cash book, have three columns for amount on each side, namely cash, bank and discount column. As discount is a nominal account, discount allowed will be while receiving payment is written on the debit side, and discount received while making payment is written on the credit side. As we know that discount is a nominal account, therefore we debit all the expenses, that means discount allowed will be debited, and we credit all incomes, that means discounts received will be posted on the credit side. So that is obvious that discount column on the debit side will record all the discount allowed by the business to the customer while receiving the payment, and discount column on the credit side will record all the discount received by the business from the suppliers. The rules for recording transactions in a triple column cash book are: number 1, the opening balance of cash column would always show a debit balance. It will be written as to balance brought down on the debit side, that we already know. Number 2, the opening balance of bank column may be given as a debit or credit. It can happen that the bank balance is showing negative, that means you have withdrawn in excess, because you have already learned the term bank overdraft. When you withdraw amount in excess than in your deposited in your account, that is a special facility given especially to the current account holders. So in that case the bank balance can show a negative or a credit balance. So if the bank balance is showing a credit balance, a negative balance, an overdraft balance, then it will be, the opening balance will be shown on the credit side as by balance brought down. And when we are writing the opening balance of cash, then the amount will be written in the cash column. When we are writing the opening balance of bank, then the amount will be written in the bank column, irrespective of whether it is a debit balance or the credit balance on the respective side. As such, if the debit balance of bank is given in the question, it will be written as to balance brought down on the debit side, and on the contrary, if the credit balance of bank is given, it will be treated as credit balance of bank and will be shown on the credit side of the cash book in the bank column as by balance brought down. The third point, contra entries, very very important. Contra entries basically are those entries where one aspect of debit or credit is cash and another aspect of debit or credit is basically bank. That means where contra entry is an entry where both cash and bank accounts are affected. So as you can see, when cash is deposited into the bank, what will be the entry? We have discussed while discussing the journal. When the cash is deposited into bank, what will be the entry? Bank account debited to cash account. So one aspect is bank and another aspect is cash. That means it is a contra entry. Or when cash is withdrawn from the bank for use in office. So when the cash is withdrawn from the bank and it is brought in the business for office use, then the entry is cash account debited to bank account. Again, one aspect is cash and another aspect is bank, so it is also known as a contra entry. These are the two cases when contra entry can occur. So when these entries or the contra entries are the exceptional case, when and only when the cash word or bank word are used in the cash book and both the aspects are recorded. Basically, contra entry is an entry where both the aspect of cash and bank are recorded in the cash book. And just as to differentiate, just as to demarcate it as a contra entry, the letter C in capital is written in the LF or ledger folio column, just as to denote that it is a part of a contra entry. As you can see, when cash is withdrawn from the bank for use in the office, each such transactions affects both cash column as well as the bank column, and the transaction is therefore recorded on both sides of the cash book. Such entries, the double entry of which is complete in the cash book itself, are called contra entries, because you need not post these entries anywhere else, because the dual aspect of such entries are already recorded and completed itself in the cash book. And obviously one important rule is there, children. If you are recording the cash aspect, then you will use the word bank and amount will be the cash column. If you are recording the bank aspect, in particulars, the particular will be cash and the amount will be written in the bank column. A point, cash deposited into bank. When cash is deposited into the bank, what is the effect? When cash is deposited into the bank, what is the effect? Your bank balance increases. That means one side, this will be posted on the receipt side, on the debit side, as 2. Now bank balance is increasing, but why? Because cash is being deposited. So you will write 2 cash account and the amount will be written in the bank column. On the other hand, what is the other effect? Cash balance is reducing in your business. That means cash is going out. So on the other hand, you will be showing it on the credit side or on the payment side. And why the cash is reducing? Because you are depositing it into the bank account. So you will write, in particulars, you will write by bank, but the amount will be in opposite column, that is in cash column. So if you're writing bank, the amount will be in cash column. If you're writing cash, then the amount will be in the bank column. It increases the bank balance and reduces the cash balance. Hence, it affects the cash column as well as the bank column. As such, the same amount is recorded on the debit side as well as on the credit side. On the debit side, we will write 2 cash account is written and the amount is recorded in the bank column. On the credit side, we will write by bank account is written and the amount is recorded in the cash column, opposite. Then the P part, cash withdrawn from bank for office use. In this case, what is happening? The cash balance is increasing because we are bringing cash from bank in the business, and therefore it will be posted on the debit side or on the receipt side. And why? Because cash balance is increasing. Why the cash balance is increasing? Because we are bringing the money from the bank. So on the receipt side, you will write 2 bank account and the amount will be written in the cash column. On the other hand, what is happening? Your bank balance is getting reduced. Therefore, the bank aspect will be recorded on the credit side, and you will, why the bank balance is reducing? Because you are bringing out the cash. So you will write by cash account and the amount will be written in the bank column, because which balance is reducing? Bank balance is reducing. So as you can see, on the debit side, 2 bank account is written and the amount is recorded in the cash column. On the credit side, by cash account will be written and the amount will be shown on the in your bank column. Contra entries are not required to be posted to ledger. Why? Because both the aspects are already completed in the cash book itself. As their double entries complete in the cash book itself serves as the cash account and bank account both. In order to indicate that these entries are not to be posted to the ledger, the word C, capital C, which stands for contra, is written on both the sides in LF or the ledger folio column. The word contra means opposite or against. Now the fourth point, receipt of check or bank draft. Whenever check is received or a bank draft is received from a customer by the business, as we have discussed in the chapter journal, if the check is deposited on the same day, then it will be recorded on the debit side of the cash book in bank column. If the check is not deposited on the same day, then the receiving entry of check will not be passed in the cash book, because in that case, if you remember, we passed the entry checks in hand account debited to customer. Now when the day comes when this check is deposited, then this entry will be posted on the debit side of the cash book, and in particulars we will write 2 checks in hand, because when we received the check we had opened an account as checks in hand, and the amount will be written in bank column. So as you can see, checks received from customers and deposited into the bank the same day, these are entered in bank column on the debit side. B point can be checks received from customers but not deposited into bank the same day. then in that case, checks not deposited into the bank on the same day are first recorded in the books of accounts by means of a journal entry as follows: checks in hand account debited to customer. Nowhere neither the word cash is coming nor the word bank is coming. Therefore, it will not be recorded in the cash book on the day of receiving the check. When this check is deposited into the bank, then it is recorded in the cash book by entering it in the bank column on the debit side as to checks in hand account. In the question, sometimes there is no information as to deposit date of the check. We know the rule. If the question is silent as to when the check is deposited, we will assume that the check is deposited on the very same day of receiving, and we will post it on the debit side of the cash book to whatever the name of the customer is there, and the amount will be posted in the bank column. So in such a case, it will be assumed that the check has been deposited into the bank on the same day. Fifth point, payment by check. Whenever a payment is made by check, that means we have issued a check in somebody's favor. What will be the effect? It will reduce our bank balance definitely when the person presents it for payment. So it will be written on the payment side as by the name of the supplier to whomsoever we are giving the check, and the amount will be shown in the bank column. As soon as we issue a check to someone, it will immediately be recorded on the credit side in bank column, so that we may be acquainted of the true balance at the bank. Then the sixth one, dishonor of a check. If we have received the check, we have deposited the check in the bank, and on the assumption that payment will be received, check will be cleared positively, we have shown it on the debit side. But if while the process of clearing, if the check gets dishonored, then that means our bank balance will not increase as we thought. So what we will do, we will again show it on the opposite, that is on the credit side, because the check is being dishonored now, and we will write by whosoever the giver of the check is, name of the customer, and the amount will be written in the bank column, so as to reduce the balance of bank which we had increased while depositing the check, on the assumption that check will be cleared and payment will be deposited in our bank account. So as you can read here, if a check received from a customer and deposited into bank for collection is dishonored, an entry will be made on the credit side of the cash book by entering the amount of the dishonored check in the bank column. In particulars column, the name of the customer will be entered. Then the seventh point, very important, because we are talking about the triple column cash book. We have already discussed how to record various transactions in cash column and in bank column. Now, how to record the transactions in discount column. And obviously we know there are two types of discount: trade discount and cash discount. We have already learnt in the chapter journal that trade discount is given for bulk purchases. Trade discount are calculated, these are deducted, but are not exclusively shown in the books of accounts, whereas cash discount is both calculated as well as shown exclusively in the books of accounts. So therefore the discount column which we are making in the cash book is related to only cash discount, because cash discount will be given at the time of cash transaction, and cash book records only the cash transactions. So reading here, in a cash book having discount column, cash discount received is shown in discount column on the credit side, because discount is a nominal account, and the nominal account says we debit all expenses and we credit all income. So the discount column on the credit side will show the cash discount received at the time of making the payment, and cash discount allowed is shown on the discount column on the debit side. That means the cash discount which is allowed by the business to the customers at the time of receiving the payment will be shown on the debit side. In particulars column, we write the name of the customer or the supplier. If we are giving the discount, the name of the customer is written. If we are receiving the discount, the name of the supplier is written. Moving ahead, totaling the discount column. We know that cash book is balanced, and how it is balanced, that we have already learnt in part 1. But we balance the cash column, we balance the bank column as we used to do in simple cash book, but the discount column will not be balanced. Discount column will only be totaled. We will just total the debit side separately and we'll show the total amount. We'll total the credit column separately and we'll show the credit amount, the total credit discount amount. But we will not do the balancing of discount column. This is very important. The discount column is totaled but not balanced. So as you can read here, it must be noted that the discount columns in the cash book are merely totaled and not balanced. That is, the difference between the two sides is not calculated. The discount columns are merely memorandum columns and hence do not serve the purpose of discount account. Why? Because it records only it is just a memorandum purpose. Discount accounts are opened again in the ledger and totals of discount columns in the cash book are posted there. In fact, two separate accounts for discount, that is discount allowed account and discount received account, are opened in general. Here we are showing the discount in the name of discount only, but while preparing the ledger account, we prepare discount allowed separately and discount received account separately. So therefore, in case of cash book, we do not do the balancing of discount column, rather we just total the discount columns. Now, balancing of cash and bank columns. Number 1, debit side of cash column will always exceed the credit column in cash, we know. And as such, the balance will be shown on the credit side by writing the words by balance carried down, and this will be brought forwarded on the opposite, that is the debit side, as to balance brought down. And second point, usually the bank columns are balanced just like the cash columns. However, the bank column may show either a debit balance or the credit balance. If at all, if there is a case of bank overdraft, then your bank column will not show a debit balance, rather it will show a credit balance. If it shows a credit balance, it is called as an overdraft. Overdraft is a situation when cash withdrawn from the bank exceeds the amount deposited into the bank. In such a case, the total of the credit side of bank column will be bigger than the total of the debit side. And we know if the total of credit side is more than the debit side, the balancing figure will be shown on the debit side as to balance carried down, just to make both the sides equal. And whatever we have balance carried down on the debit side will be brought forwarded on the opposite side, that is on the credit side, as by balance brought down after showing the subtotal. The difference will be written on the debit side as to balance carried down, and at the beginning of the next month, the balance will be shown as by balance brought down on the credit, that is on the opposite side. So this is how you total the discount column, how you balance the cash column, that we have already learned while learning the simple cash book, and how you balance the bank column. Moving ahead, there are some important transactions besides these transactions. Number 1, amount withdrawn for personal use. The moment personal use comes, it means drawings. And if any amount is being withdrawn either in cash or from bank account, it will definitely reduce the respective balance. So if the amount is withdrawn in cash, obviously if it is withdrawn in cash or from bank, it will be shown on the payment side as by drawings. If the amount is withdrawn in cash, the amount will be shown in the cash column. If the amount is withdrawn from bank account, the amount will be shown in the bank column. So as you can read here, amount withdrawn from bank for the personal use of the proprietor is not a contra transaction. It will affect only the bank column of the cash book. Here we are talking about if the amount is withdrawn from the bank account for personal use. As it reduces the bank balance, it will be recorded on the credit side of the cash book as by drawings account, and the amount will be written in the bank column. Number 2, endorsement of a check. Endorsement of a check means that when we have received some check, and rather than depositing the check in our bank account, what we have done, we have passed on, we have endorsed the same check to somebody else to whom we had to make the payment. In that case, when we are not depositing the check in the bank, why will the payment be added, or why will the amount be added in a bank account? So this endorsement of check, nowhere the cash is coming, nowhere the bank is coming, therefore it will not be a part of the cash book. As you can read here, sometimes a check received from a customer is not deposited into bank, but it may be given to some other person, that is endorsed. The receipt as well as the endorsement of check is recorded through journal and not cash book, because receipt and endorsement of check neither affects the cash nor bank account. For example, a check for rupees 20,000 is received from Arun on 2nd March 2018 and it is endorsed to Vishal on 5th March 2018. It is not being deposited in our bank account. In this case, we shall pass two journal entries, one for receiving the check from Arun. As you can see, the entry checks in hand account debited, because we are not depositing the check on the same day, to Arun. And another for endorsing the check to Vishal. The entry will be Vishal debited 20,000 to checks in hand account 20,000. The journal entry shall be as follows, as we have discussed. Nowhere the cash is being affected or the bank is being affected, so this entry altogether will not be recorded in cash book at all. Number 3, bank charges. Sometimes it happens that the bank deducts its service charge from our account itself. So what will happen? This will reduce the bank balance. So this will be shown on the credit side or on the payment side as by bank charges, and the amount will be written in the bank column. As you can see, bank usually charges some amount for the services rendered to its customers. Such charges will be recorded on the credit side as by bank charges, and the amount will be recorded in the bank column. Fourth point, bank charges on dishonored check. Expenses charged by the bank on dishonored checks will be added into the amount of dishonored check itself. It will not be shown separately as a bank charge or something like that. No. It will, for example, suppose if you have deposited the check for 5,000 and you entered it on the debit side as to maybe customer's name, to Ram, let's say 20,000 in the bank column. But this check is being dishonored, so that means it will be posted on the credit side, and for the processing this, the bank has deducted 1,000 as the dishonor charge. So when you record it on the credit side as by Ram, you will not write by Ram 20,000 and by banking charge 1,000. No, you will write by Ram 21,000. It will include the amount of dishonored charges. Point number 5, amount directly deposited by a customer into a bank. When we do not receive the check, rather the customer directly deposits the amount in a bank account, it will increase the balance of the bank, and obviously it is a receipt, therefore it will be posted on the debit side. In particulars, we'll write to the name of the customer or the depositor, and the amount will be written in the bank column. As you can see, when the information of such a deposit is received by the trader, it will be recorded on the debit side of the cash book, and the amount will be entered in the bank column. Sixth point, number 1, interest allowed by the bank. That means bank is giving us the interest on our deposit. So interest allowed by the bank is an income. It will increase the bank balance, therefore it will be shown on the receipt side as to interest account, and the amount will be written in the bank column. So interest allowed or credited by the bank increases the balance at bank. The entry for such interest is therefore recorded on the debit side in the bank column. Then the second case can be interest charged by the bank. Whenever the bank is charging the interest, that means it will deduct the amount of interest on some loan or something like that from our bank account. So this will reduce our bank balance, and it will be shown on the payment side as by interest account, and the amount will be written in the bank column. So as you can read here, when interest is charged or debited by the bank on the amount of bank overdraft, the entry is recorded on the credit side in bank column. And why we are saying that interest is charged or debited by the bank, you have already learned the chapter bank reconciliation statement, and we know the rule that if anything is debited by bank, that means it is being it is being deducted from our bank account, and if anything is credited by the bank, that means it is being added in our bank account. Moving ahead, discounting of bills receivable from bank. If a bill receivable is discounted from a bank, the amount of discount deducted by the bank is recorded through journal, since it is debited to discounting charges account, and only the net proceeds is entered in the bank column on the debit side. Discounting charge on bill discounted will not be shown in discount column, it will be recorded through journal proper. Sometimes what happened, let's say when we have sold goods to somebody on credit, and let's say the person will make the payment after 2 or 3 months, what we can do is, on the safer side, we can make a bill in his name that we have sold goods worth rupees, let's say 20,000 to Mr. Sham. He will be making the payment after 2 months. So what will happen? Mr. Sham will make the payment of 20,000 after 2 months. We cannot call for money before 2 months. But we have another option of taking loan on such bill. What we can do is, we can take the bill, we can go to the bank, and we can say bank, see, you keep the bill, and after 2 months you can collect the amount of 20,000 from Mr. Sham. You do one thing, you deduct your discounting charge and you give us the remaining net proceeds to us. So this whole process is known as discounting of bill of exchange. What is the benefit to us? Although we receive a lesser amount as compared to 20,000, maybe 19,900 or 19,500, like that, depending on the discounting charge. But we receive the payment immediately. What is the benefit for the bank? Bank will, after 2 months, bank will receive the entire amount of 20,000 plus it is taking the discounting charge in addition from us. So this whole process is known as the discounting of bill of exchange or discounting of bills receivable. So the amount which bank is deducting for this process, for this discounting as a service charge, is known as discounting charge. So this amount of discounting charge deducted or charged at the time of discounting of bill of exchange cannot be posted in the discount column in the cash book, because in cash book discount column merely records the discount while receiving the payment or making the payment to customer or supplier. Discounting charge related to discounting of bill of exchange is recorded is separately in discounting charge account. So this discounting charge will be passed through journal proper and journal entry. It will not be a part of the cash book. So all these are very important points, children, which you need to remember in order to solve questions on triple column cash book. Now moving ahead, we will be discussing one practical question to make the concepts more clear to you. Again, this question is taken from your book itself. You have to enter the following transactions in a cash book with discount, cash and bank columns. Also record necessary entries in journal. That means here you have to make a triple column cash book where you will be making the column for cash, for bank and for discount, and also all those entries which will not be a part of cash book needs to be posted in journal, so you have to pass those entries as well. So let us see. 2016 May 1st, balance of cash in hand 15,600 and overdraft at bank 7,400. Now this is balance, this is not saying commence business or started business. So the balance of cash, we will obviously assume that this is a debit balance, so it will be shown on the debit side as to balance brought down. 15,600 will be shown in the cash column, and bank is showing the overdraft balance or the negative balance or the credit balance. So this will be shown on the credit side as buy balance brought down. 7,400 will be shown in the bank column. Then May 2nd, further capital introduced rupees 30,000, out of which 25,000 is deposited into bank. So what is happening? Again, afterwards, what the businessman or the proprietor is doing, the proprietor is basically introducing further capital. He is bringing more money, totality 30,000, out of which 25,000 is being deposited into bank. That means remaining 5,000 is coming in cash. So obviously, whether in cash or deposit in bank, no doubt it is a receipt for the business because cash is coming in. So it will be posted on the debit side as to capital account. 5,000 will be posted in the cash column and 25,000 will be posted in the bank column. Then May 3rd, purchase goods on credit from Mohan of the list price, that is the MRP, 15,000 plus CGST and SGST at 6% each. So the goods are being purchased from Mohan, the list price of which is 15,000, sorry. So when we are purchasing the goods from Mohan, now here the goods are purchased on credit. That means it will not be recorded in the cash book. The May 6th transaction. Settled the account of Mohan by paying cash rupees 13,000. So how much we are paying to Mohan? 13,000. But we are settling the account. That means we are fully settling the account. That means we might be receiving the discount. So in order to calculate that, what you will have to do is you will have to calculate how you have calculated the amount. You have to calculate that. And how you will calculate the amount? How much goods you are purchasing from Mohan? The list price is 15,000 plus CGST and SGST 6% each. So 6% of 15,000 will be just CGST, which will be added to the cost, and plus 6% of SGST will also be added to this. So altogether, that means 16,800 basically it is coming, that means how you have calculated is 15,000 is the cost price or is the value of purchase, on which 6% you are paying the amount of CGST. And remember children, whenever the amount of CGST and SGST is to be calculated and the discount is also given, so what you will do is, first of all you will deduct the amount of discount and then you will calculate the CGST and SGST. So 20% of 15,000 will be 3,000. So if you are receiving free 3,000 discount, that means ultimately the value of goods is 12,000. So on 12,000 you are paying 6%, that is 720 of CGST and 720 of SGST. That means altogether your goods or the amount which is being spent there is basically 13,440. That means this is the amount which you have purchased goods from Mohan. Now the question is saying you are settling the account of Mohan by paying cash 13,000. That means 440 rupees is the amount of discount received because you are making the payment. So May 3rd item or the transaction will not be recorded in the cash book. Why? Because it is a credit transaction, but May 6th transaction you will record, you will record it on the payment side as by Mohan. In discount received column you will write 400, in cash column you will write 13,000. Now basically you will write 440 in the discount received column, and there you will write 13,000 in the cash column. Then May 8th, an amount of 2,500 due from Chaturvedi and Sons, written off as bad debts in the previous year, now recovered. This is the case of bad debts recovered. Again it is a receipt, money is coming in, so on the debit side you will show it as to bad debts recovered account, and amount will be written where? In the cash column as 2,500 because it is not mentioned that it is received through check. Then May 10th, cashed a check. Cashed a check means, what does it mean? That you are basically depositing the check so as to withdraw the money for office use. So what will happen here? What will be the entry, children? Cash account debited 7,500 to bank account 7,500. Now both the aspect, cash and bank, are affected here. That means this is the case of contra entry. So at one end what is happening? Cash balance is increasing in your business, so it will be shown on the receipt side. And why the cash balance is increasing? Because you are withdrawing it from the bank. So on the debit side you will write to bank account, amount will be written in the cash column as 7,500, and because it is a contra entry, therefore you will write C in the ledger folio column. On the other hand, what is happening? Your bank balance is reducing, so on the credit side you will write, and why the bank balance is reducing? Because you are withdrawing cash. So on the credit side you will write by cash account, amount of 7,500 will be written in the bank column, and the word C, the letter C, will be written in ledger folio so as to demarcate that it is a contra entry. Then on the same date, another transaction is drew from bank for household expenses 3,000. Now this is the case of drawings. You are withdrawing money from the bank for household expenses. So on the payment side you will write by drawings 3,000, and also income tax is also paid 800. That means income tax is also levied on personal income of a person. That means it is also a drawing. So on the credit side you will write by drawings total amount 3,800 in the bank column. Moving ahead, May 14th, sale of old chairs for 500 plus CGST and SGST 6% each. Payment is received in cash. Now that means you are selling the old chair or old furniture, and what you are receiving, 500 rupees you are receiving, and in addition to this you are receiving 6% CGST and 6% SGST because it is saying 6% each. So what will happen? CGST and SGST, the amount is shown separately, and whenever you are selling anything, and if you are receiving the amount of CGST and SGST, that is known as output CGST and output SGST. So all this amount is received, therefore it will all be posted on the debit side as 2 furniture account, 2 output CGST account, 6% of 500, that is 30 rupees, 2 output SGST account, again 6% of 500, that is 30 rupees. All these amount will be posted in the cash column because these are received in cash. May 15th, received from X on behalf of Y, rupees 2200, discount allowed 100. Again money is coming in, no doubt from whomsoever you are receiving, but you are receiving it on behalf of Y. That means you were supposed to receive it from Y. So you will enter the name of Y in your books and not X. And because it is a receipt, therefore you will record it on the debit side as 2Y, 100 rupees in the discount allowed column and 2200 rupees in the cash column, because bank is not mentioned, so you'll assume it to be a cash transaction. Next transaction, received a check from Naresh 4210 in full settlement of his account of 4400. Now you have to see whether the check is deposited on the same day or not. So on just looking after this, you saw the next transaction, checks received from Naresh sent to bank. That means this check was not deposited on the same date. So obviously when this check was deposited, it will be shown in the on the debit side of the cash book, and you will write 2 checks in hand account because it is not deposited on the same day. That means you must have opened checks in hand account. So you will write 2 checks in hand account, and the amount of 4210 will be written in the bank column. The remaining amount of discount will not be recorded because this discount you have already recorded at the time of receiving the check, where bank and cash column were not affected. So this discount amount will not be recorded in the cash book. Then May 25th, Sagar Chand, who owed us, means our debtor, rupees 10,000, became bankrupt and paid us 40 paisa in a rupee. So 40 paisa if he paid, that means 60 paisa or 60% is bad debt. That will not be recorded in your cash book. That will be recorded in journal. That means remaining 40% of 40 paisa, 40% of 10,000 is 4,000. This is received and no information is mentioned, so we will assume it that these are received in cash. So on the receipt side we will write to Sagar Chand and the amount of 4,000 will be written in the cash column. Then May 26th, received repayment of a loan of rupees 3,600 and deposit out of it 2,000 into the bank. Now what is happening? You are receiving the repayment of a loan rupees 3,600, out of which 2,000 you are depositing in the bank. That means 1,600 you are keeping in your business itself. So both the aspect, your cash and bank balance, both are increasing. So this will be shown on the receipt side or on the debit side as 2 loan account, because you are receiving, how you are receiving, why you are receiving, as a repayment of loan. So on the in the cash column you will write the amount of 1,600 and in the bank column you will write the amount of 2,000. Then May 28th, check received from Naresh dishonored. Bank debits 20 rupees in respect of this check for bank charges. So if you remember, the check which was deposited was 4,210. Now 20 rupees more is to be received for bank charges, and because this is dishonor of check, so this will be recorded on the credit side as by Naresh on May 28, and the amount will be written in the bank column, because with this dishonor our bank balance should be reduced, because we have increased the balance on the assumption that this will be cleared and will be added in our bank account. And now the amount will not be 4,210, rather the amount will be 4,230. That means including 20 rupees of service charge. Then the last transaction, interest debited by bank. Now anything debited by bank means it is being deducted by the bank from our bank account. That means bank balance is reducing. So interest debited by bank is rupees 650. That means this will be shown on the payment side as by interest 650 in the bank column. then deposited with the bank the entire balance after retaining 5,000 at office. That means what you have to do after posting the last entry as interest debited by bank rupees 650, what you will do is you will calculate the balance part, you will total the discount column, it will not be balanced, then you will total the receipt side of the cash column and bank column separately, then you will total the credit side or the payment side of uh, cash column and bank column separately. Then what you will do, whatever the cash balance is there, 5,000 you will carry forward to the next beginning of the next period, and rest of the balance will be deposited into the bank. So if you see, the total receipt is coming to 38,960 in cash, and bank it is coming to 52,170, whereas total payment in cash is coming to 33,960 and bank 23,580. Now the question says you have to retain 5,000 in cash and remaining you will deposit. So as you can see, after keeping 5,000, the amount which is deposited in the bank account is 20,960 rupees. So again, this is cash deposited into bank. Again, it is a contra entry. What will be the entry? Bank account debited to cash account. So at one end, what is happening? The bank balance is increasing. Therefore, it will be posted on the debit side, and what we will write in particular is the opposite part, that is to cash account, and the amount of deposit will be written in the bank column as 20,960. On the other hand, what is happening? Our bank balance is increasing, therefore our cash balance is decreasing, therefore on the credit side we'll write by bank account, and the amount will be written in the cash column 20,960. So now ultimately what should be the balance coming in? The balance should be coming as by balance carried down cash. It should be 5,000, because rest of the amount, that is 20,960, you have deposited in the bank because you just had to retain 5,000, and the bank balance is coming to 28,590. The discount column have been total, it is not balanced. The discount allowed or the debit side, it is coming to 100, and credit side the discount total is coming to 400. Since these are not balanced, therefore this will not be brought forwarded. Cash and bank column, we have calculated the balancing figure as by balance carried down. So therefore on the credit side, therefore it will be brought forwarded on the opposite, that is the debit side, as to balance brought down at the date will be the beginning of the next month or the period. So since we know that balancing is done at the end of the month, that means at 31st May, now the brought down will be done at the beginning of the next period, that is June 1st. And what will be the amount of balance brought down? What you have written in carried down, that is 5,000 in cash column and 28,590 in the bank column. So this is the presentation. You can see all the transactions which we have discussed, what is to be shown where in the cash column, in the bank column, what will be written in the particular column. And yes, there are two contra entries in this case. First, normal transaction, and second, the amount, the remaining balance which we have deposited, the last one which we have deposited into the bank, and therefore we have again written the letter C in the ledger folio column on both the sides, debit sides and the credit side, so as to demarcate that these are contra entries, these are completed here itself, and therefore these need not be opened or passed in the ledger account. So I hope children all the topics and the question discussed here is clear to you. These are the working notes. On May 10th, as you can see, income tax is the personal expense of the proprietor. As such, it will be treated as drawings, that we have already discussed. Then May 31st, bank has debited 650 for interest. It indicates that bank has charged interest from us because it is debited by bank. As such, it will be recorded on the credit side in the bank column. Then May 31st, cash balance is 38,960, that is total receipt, minus 13,000. Now the net balance which is to be transferred is 25,960. Out of this amount, now 13,000 is the credit total actually. So that means net balance of cash is 25,960, out of which 5,000 is to be retained in the office itself. The balance of 20,960, that is 25,960 minus 5,000, will be deposited into the bank. and all those entries which could not be passed in the cash book will be recorded in separately in journal. So May 3rd, purchase account debited 12,000, because it is a credit purchase, therefore it was not recorded in the cash book, therefore we are recording it separately in journal. Purchase account debited, that is 12,000 after deducting trade discount and before calculating CGST and SGST. And whenever the goods are purchased, the CGST and SGST is termed as input CGST and input SGST, and both are debited because these are considered as an asset, because just now the business is paying these taxes, but later on it will be refunded from the government. So input CGST account debited separately. Then input SGST account debited separately 720 each to Mohan, that is to supplier, because it is a credit purchase at 13,440. The next entry is when the check was received from Naresh and it could not be passed in the cash book because check was not deposited on the same day. The entry was checks in hand account debited 4,210, that is the amount of check. Discount allowed account debited 190, because 4,400 was due, but the check was received for 4,210 in full settlement to Naresh 4,400. The next entry is because Sagar Chand, a debtor for rupees 10,000, became insolvent. 40 paisa in a rupee could be recovered from his private estate. That means 60% or 60 paisa could not be recovered, which was considered as bad debt, and bad debt is not recorded in cash book. Therefore, we are showing it separately in journal. The entry will be bad debts account debited 6,000. We will just record the bad debt aspect because the cash receipt aspect is already recorded in the cash book. So bad debts account debited 6,000, that is 60%, to Sagar Chand 6,000. And the last one, Naresh debited 190 because to discount allowed account 190. This is the amount of discount allowed to Naresh withdrawn on dishonor of this check. Because when we received the check in full settlement, if you see, we have allowed him the discount of 190. Now we will write back this discount as well. Then you can see an asterisk note is given, discount withdrawn on check dishonored 190 will not be credited to discount received. We will not transfer it to discount received. This is not the discount received. This is not the amount of discount which we have received. Rather, we are crediting discount here, because not because we are receiving it, rather because we are writing off, we are withdrawing the discount which was given to him, because now his check has been dishonored. It will be recorded through journal. So these are all the working notes with explanation. This is the assignment based on this part, children. You have to answer the following question in your register. You have to solve practical question number 7 to 13. That means 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. All these questions are very good questions. These are based on triple column cash book from the chapter books of original entry cash book of your accounts book by D.K. Goyal. So go through the video once again, children. Revise all the topics. Especially do all the homework which is being given to you and practice as many questions as you can. In the upcoming video, we'll be discussing the last part of this chapter, that is petty cash book. Thank you, children. Take care.